Hello, it's LA, the dating diva, and I am back with another video. Today, we're going to discuss things to ask, talk about, or discuss on a first date. Number 10, and these are good questions you'll see. You can ask a person their favorites: favorite color, favorite food, favorite TV show, singer, actor, movie. You get it, their favorites. It'll let you know a lot about the person, depending on, like, if you say food, what kind of food they eat, what kind of food they don't eat, if they're vegan, vegetarian, that type of thing. And these are good things to know in case you two do have a possible future together. Number 9. This one might be kind of tricky, but number 9 is you can ask them the last book that they read. We know we're living in a technological world where a lot of people aren't, I guess, reading books, but a lot of people do read the ebooks. So to ask a person the last book that they read is a good one, because it'll tell you a lot about them. Like, do they actually read books? Do they do ebooks? Do they go to the library or bookstore to get books? So asking them the last book you read is a good question. Number 8, what do you like to do for fun? How do you spend your free time? That's a good question because it will let you know how compatible you are to the person that you're on a date with. If they're an outdoor person, they may say things like they like to hike, bike. If they like water sports, they might say they like to swim or, jet ski, things like that. Or if they're a person who likes to watch TV or go out to clubs, parties, concerts, comedy shows, if they would take a cooking class, that type of thing. So asking a person what they like to do for fun will show you how well you may possibly get along with that person if you two are into a lot of the same things. Number 7, you can ask a person what school did they go to and what did they major in. For instance, if they went to high school, which high school, or if they went to college, if they pledged a fraternity, what was their major in college, and did they follow what their major was. A lot of times people do go to college, and let's say a person goes to college to be a physical therapist, but then they get out of school and they change careers and decide to do something else. So that will tell you a lot about the person, to let you know what type of schooling they have, what type of education, and that will let you know things about that person that you may have in common with them. Number 6, you can ask a person, have they ever been in the military? That's a good question because if they have been in the military, you can ask them what branch. If they were in the Army, the Navy, the Marines. And like I said, it'll let you know that if they, fought for this country, are they in the reserves now? How long were they in the military? Things like that. So that will tell you a lot about a person. Did they get into the military because, like, a lot of times people come from military families, or a lot of times people do it to get money for school, that type of thing. And a lot of people make a career out of military. So asking a person if they were ever in the military or if they ever thought about joining the military, that will tell you a lot about a person. Number 5, you can ask a person if they plan to change states within the next few years. That's a good question because let's say that you're on a date with a person, your first date, and you're liking this person, you really want something long term, and you ask them if they plan to change states within the next few years, and they may say something like, well, yeah, next year I plan to move wherever in 2 years. And if you're thinking of something long term and you're not thinking of moving states, that could, I don't want to say be an issue, but it's letting you know that that person is thinking of their future. Like, for instance, me, right now, I know we're in 2022, and in 2025, I will be relocating to Florida. Right now, I live in Missouri, but I'll be relocating to Florida. Actually, I'm moving June the 1st of 2025 to Florida. Number 4, you can ask a person what is their job or career. You can ask them how long they've been into that type of work and how did they get into that type of work. For instance, you can ask a person if they have their own business, if they ever thought of starting their own business, how long they've been at their current job or in business or career, that type of thing. And you can ask them how did they get into that type of career. The thing that I've noticed about people is people really like to talk about themselves. So if you ask a person a question like that, it will open up the door for them to be able to get to know you better, and you'll get to know them better. So asking a person how they got into the certain career that they're in will let you know a lot about that person. Number 3. This is a really good question. You, of course, can ask a person, have they ever been married? And if they've been married before, you can ask them if they plan to get married again. And see, the thing about a question like that, let's say that you meet somebody and they've been married before, like maybe their spouse, maybe they got divorced or their spouse passed away or whatever. So if you ask a person, do you plan to get married again? And they say no, and you are planning to get married or wanting or hoping to get married one day, if they say no to like getting married again, that could put a glitch in your plans because they want to do something different than what you want to do. And if you're thinking of planning a future with a person and you really want to be married and they don't, that could be a red flag that could cause a problem. Number 2. Now, this is a great question. Of course, you want to ask a person, do they have any children? And if they say yes, of course, you can ask them how many. You know, of course, you want to know if they have boys or if they have girls. Like maybe a person has all boys, maybe they have all girls. Maybe they have, let's say if a person has all sons and maybe they want a daughter, or maybe they have all daughters and they want a son. And you can also ask them if they want more children. Like maybe a person has 2 girls and they say, well, yeah, I would like to have a boy. A person might have 3 girls and, like I said, maybe want a boy. Or it will let you know, because if you, let's say that you want children or want more children and they don't, that could be an issue for the future. Okay, so just make sure, like I say, you can ask about, you know, how many children a person has, but don't get into, oh, do you have boys, girls, and ages and their names? Because then if you get on the subject of children, you're going to be on that subject all night. And there's nothing wrong with asking that, but a lot of times when you're on a first date with a person, you don't want one subject to take up so much of the date. Okay, so just completely remember that when you're on a first date with the person. Number 1. Now, this question is really like a deal breaker type of question, just to kind of, you know, ask a person this just to see what they say. Maybe you're a person like this and there's something you two would have in common. But the number 1 question is, do you have any pets? Like I said, that's a question to break the ice. That's an icebreaker type of question, because maybe a person doesn't have a pet now, but maybe they had a pet in the past, like when they were little, growing up. Maybe they had a dog, a cat, a bird, several animals, pets. Maybe they have pets now. Maybe they have, 2 dogs, a couple of cats, that type of thing. And if you're an animal lover, if you're a pet person, if you have pets, that's something that you all could talk about. But another thing, like I said, with the children, you don't want to, if they do say they have pets and you have pets, you don't want to get on that subject for too long, because if you get on that subject, you may be on that all night. Okay, you may not want to sit there and talk about your pets all night. So you can ask different questions, but make sure you don't just divulge and be on a certain question for too long. Okay, you want to get to know the person, but on the first date, you're really not trying to hear their whole life story. Okay, so that is my top 10 questions to ask, things to talk about, or things to discuss on a first date. This is LA, your dating diva, and I want to say thank you for watching my video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.